Yeah, I'm kicking off my shoes. Flops. Hello, everybody. Getting ready to start here in just a few minutes. First off, I want to apologize. Last night, right at the end of practice, as we were getting ready to go into Shavasana, I'm involved. And I was on call yesterday. Calls have been few and far between. So it was just a coincidence. And so that's set up through. It's listed as an emergency number, so it comes through and rings no matter what or not. The reason it does is the trauma intervention program is that's been in existence here for 27 years, and their mission is to be there when somebody trauma. So if a loved one is passed, if there's been a traumatic accident, normally the volunteers go out and is not alone. Well, in this age of COVID-19, we can't do that right now. So we're doing things telephonically, and that affected practice. But unfortunately, that happened. Well, shouldn't happen anytime, but it did happen. So tonight, thank you. If you found that disruptive yesterday, so we're all trying to take via connections. Isolation is not our. Seems that there's a rise in suicides. I've heard again too that there's been a rise in. It does. So luckily I got a few minutes here because a little technical error going on here, but we'll get it. I have to take and make sure that I'm on the right Wi-Fi connection. Oh, and now pause. There it goes. It's reconnected. So again, I hope that you're here to join with me tonight in a little bit of this virtual presence. I think that maybe we're all discovering that group energy, that group practice is not entirely dependent on presence in the same room. A lot of us were hello, Edie, and hello, Rye. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Adams? Ray, excuse me. And it's good to see you, Edie. I miss you all from down in Havasu. So as I was saying, we're discovering that some of our preconceived notions may not be the absolute inviolable truth. I can tell you, my Monday nights it had been my regular practice for a year and a half now to practice at Endure LV with a wonderful group of people that were struggling to overcome addiction issues, were survivors of abuse, and people that were dealing with the mental health after effects of trauma. And I miss that group something terribly. And I look forward to being able to join practice in person with them again today. Not today, maybe today online, but also in person when we finally get things under control. That mutual support that we give to each other is so important. And those of you, and I know that we've got a couple of tri instructors, tri teachers in here, If I was involved in the training sessions, you probably heard me a lot talk about empathy and the valuable piece that I think empathy plays in this. You can begin to feel so isolated when you're in a traumatic state or the after effects of a traumatic episode that you isolate, and even in the presence of others, you can feel alone. And we work hard during these practices to create that connection, and I think that's really what begins the magic of healing. And it's not really magic. It's finding that reconnection within ourselves between the mind and the body. It's finding that, wow, we're not as out of control as we believe we are. That through things like what we start with at every practice, which we'll begin in just a minute, of self-regulation, puts us truly in control. And that's another keystone of trauma recovery yoga, is that of choice. This practice is about choice. If you choose to do nothing but sit on your mat and breathe today, you're doing yoga. And I really shouldn't do it, but I'll tell you that it's a little self-deprecating. But if you're one of my friends from work or one of my frenemies from work that have heard about this online, and hey, look, old Max, Mad Max, does yoga on YouTube, and you tuned in just to check that out, like you, Eric, if you're just sitting there on your couch, sipping a beer with a big smile on your face, watching Max do yoga, well, bingo, you too are doing yoga because you're present right now. And that's what this is all about. So remember, this is your yoga, your way, and pushing that extra chair out of the way a little bit. And we're going to get started. We always begin this with practicing self-regulation, because as we know, practice leads to instilling good habits. We aren't looking to break bad habits, we're looking to instill good habits. So self-regulation, we begin that by grounding. What do we do about what is grounding? Grounding is literally feeling and noticing the support of the earth, the support that the ground gives you. You notice that through the sides of your feet, through your sit bones, any place you're contacting the earth. Maybe by placing your hand on the mat and truly seeing your hand on the ground, feeling that support that the ground is giving you, that is always giving you, that is always there for you. You just have to notice it. Seeing it, feeling it, truly experiencing it. The next limb of self-regulation is centering. We begin the practice of centering by lifting the pelvic floor, kind of like you're trying to restrict the flow of urine, and then pulling the belly button in towards the spine, creating heat, stoking that internal furnace, and maybe, just maybe, you'll notice that you're not just your physical focus, but your mental focus is drifting towards the inner. We're pulling from the outward, pulling it into the inner, feeling that heat building and knowing that we're stoking that furnace for our own use later on in our practice. The third and final piece of self-regulation is the breath. Simply noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Then feeling that breath moving in, maybe cooling the tip of your nose, maybe flowing down, feeling it flow down the back of your throat. Maybe it's shallow, maybe it's deep. Not trying to control it, just noticing that breath. And coming to the realization that you can't breathe in the past and you can't breathe in the future. You can only breathe right here, right now, in the present. Next, we're going to move into a bit of three-part yogic breathing. We start by releasing the belly and filling the belly from the bottom up, expanding the belly, feeling that air flow down into the belly, continuing to inhale, excuse me, feeling the shoulders rise, that last little sip of breath making the eyes cool and sparkle. And then exhale in reverse from the top down, feeling the chin soften, the shoulders come down, and finally the belly button come in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, ribs separate, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale as the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And then finally we exhale, allowing the chin to come heavily towards the chest, the shoulders to come down, and the belly to come in. Then we just allow our body to flow back into its natural rhythm of breath. Just noticing again, feeling that breath coming in and coming out. And on the next inhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Again, we're going to focus on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling that stretch across the top of the neck, continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Feeling that stretch before on the next exhale, allowing the chin to roll back down towards the chest. Feeling those tendons begin to stretch up the back of the neck before inhaling and bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear, and remembering to continue to breathe in and breathe out. And on the next exhale, allow that chin to come back down heavily towards the chest, not forcing it, not pushing it, just breathing in and breathing out. And now we're going to move into some neck rolls. We're going to begin by inhaling to the left or the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. Inhaling to the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. Noticing that we're inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we contract, linking the breath to the movement as we just continue to roll our neck around, feeling and noticing those little snap, crackle pops, before finally allowing the chin to rest heavily towards the chest once again. As we reverse that rotation, inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we compress. Continuing this graceful or not so graceful movement, just realizing that any way you're doing it is just fine. This is your yoga, your way. And then the next time around, allowing the chin to rest heavily towards the chest once more. Before, as we inhale, we bring the gaze up forward. Bring the right hand up, shoulder blade tucked into the socket in your back, palms stretched open, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, blinking the eyes, wiggling the fingers, really noticing your hand moving, allowing the light to begin to penetrate into that happy center in your brain, maybe stimulating a little bit of a lift in the corners of your lips. And then shifting the gaze down to the left, placing the left hand down on the mat, seeing, feeling, noticing the ground and the support it's offering that hand. Walking the hand slowly away. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come over the top into a gentle side stretch. Inhale, extend a little bit. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling back up. Exhaling, bringing your hands back to your knees. We're going to take in this time, bring the left hand up, keeping that shoulder blade tucked in, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, wiggling the fingers on this side, blinking the eyes, opening the eyes wide and allowing that light to flow in and really stimulate that happy center, maybe this time getting a full-fledged smile on your face. Shifting the gaze down to the right, placing the right hand on the mat, again, feeling, noticing that support offered by the ground. Walking the hand slowly away. Inhale, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top, stretching out the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling, bringing the hands down to the knees. Now we're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead, interlacing the three outer fingers, keeping the index fingers pointed up like the hand of a clock, touching the tips of the thumbs together, reaching up, up, up. And as we exhale, we're going to come over to one side or the other, coming down 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling back up to center. Exhaling, coming down the other way. 1, 2 numbers. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a wee bit more. Before coming back, inhaling back up. Continuing to inhale and exhale. And I want you to shift your gaze up to that cup formed by your hand. And I want you to inhale and extend up as far and as high as you can. Maybe feeling your biceps brush your ears. Really pushing, pushing, pushing before opening the hands and the heart as you exhale and open yourself up and allow the weight of the world to begin to lift from your shoulders. Bring the left hand to the right knee. Bring the right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist with the torso. Don't pull yourself around to the right. Inhale, sit up. Shift the gaze over that right shoulder and use that left hand in front to pull yourself around just a wee bit more, stretching out those rubber bands that run up and down our spine. Inhale, unwind. Now we're going to take and bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight, and again, twisting with the torso to the left. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale, twist around just a little bit more. And then release and come back around to center. Now we're going to move into tabletop. And yes, I got to pull my shorts up a little bit. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm just Max. Bringing your knees underneath your hips, tops of your feet flat on the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide, feeling and noticing that grounding support. As you inhale, you'll feel your head pull to the far side of the room, straightening your back out. And then we exhale, look over the right shoulder for the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder to the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squeeze out all of that stagnancy stored in your lungs. Inhale, bringing in fresh, cool air. Exhale, look over the left side and squeeze the last little bit out. Inhale back to center. Now we're going to get ready to move into lion or bird dog. We're going to extend the left leg back, tucking the toes, maybe taking this opportunity to straighten the leg, bouncing just a little bit to begin to stretch out that Achilles, that calf muscle, and maybe even your hamstring a bit. Shifting your weight into your left hand, extending the right out to the far side, engaging the core, and bringing that back leg up. And as we're in this little mini balance position, noticing that little tremble, that little shake, before we bring it back down into tabletop, extending the right leg back this time, tucking the toes, bouncing a little bit to begin to stretch out those tendons, shifting the weight into the right hand, left hand extended, engage the core, lift up that right leg again, noticing that tremble, noticing that shake. We'll come back to that a little later in the practice. Exhale, come back down into tabletop. Now we're going to move into our first down dog of the evening. Tucking the toes, bring the sit bones back to the heels, and then hinging up, bringing our sit bones up towards the ceiling, knowing it's okay to keep your knees bent. What we're looking for is to get our head below our heart, to give our heart a little bit of a break from pushing all of that blood uphill. This is also where we begin to practice that positivity that we lack so much. We start that practice with those two magical words. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am okay. Inhale, look forward. Slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands to the crease in the hips. Straighten the legs. And keeping the head and the shoulders forward. Slowly inhale as we stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Rolling up slowly, slowly, slowly. Before we roll the shoulders and the head up and back. Feeling a bit more of the day's problems lift off of those shoulders and leave us a little bit more at ease. Now we're going to move into a sun salutation. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, high plank. It's always okay to lower down to your knees, whatever works for you. Remember, this is your yoga, your way. Keeping your elbows tucked in, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, bringing the tops of the feet into contact with the mat. Pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Maybe noticing that those tendons have stretched out. Maybe your knees aren't quite bent as much anymore, but also noticing that relief, that resting of your heart, and continuing that conversation. That one that we usually start the day off with so terrible when we look in that mirror, concentrating on practicing for that conversation of, I am handsome. I am beautiful. I am going to have amazing breath when I finish brushing my teeth. Inhale, look forward. Hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring it all up overhead. Exhale, bring it all down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over. Pushing up into upward dog. tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. I am successful. I am alive. I am worthy. Inhale, bring the right leg up. And then exhale, however you can get it there. It doesn't matter. Bring that right foot up between the hands. Turn the back foot crossways across the back of the mat. Rising up into warrior two. Front knee bent, generally over your ankle. Again, not worrying about if you look like the yogurt commercials, because this is your yoga, your way. It's not your play, it's your way. Turn the front hand over and reverse your warrior, reaching that front hand up towards the ceiling, running that back hand down the back side of the back leg, maybe feeling a little bit of a stretch on the inside of that back leg. Inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, straightening that front leg, tipping the pelvis back, and then keeping your heart open to the far side of the room, allow yourself to fall over that front leg, bring that back arm up towards the ceiling, feeling now that stretch on the inside of the front leg. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill, hands down, step back, pushing right back up into downward dog. Continuing that practice of positivity. I am good. I am valuable. I am alive. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Again, we're not worried about form or grace. We're moving through our own practice. Bring that back foot across the back of the mat. Front knee over the front leg, over the front ankle, rising up into warrior two. This time taking a minute to notice, did I fall into this position leaning back, stuck in the past, leaning forward, yearning for the future, or are my shoulders right over my hips, right here, right now, in the present? Turn that front hand over, reach that hand up towards the ceiling, running that back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of that back leg before rising back up into warrior two, straightening that front leg up, tilting the pelvis back, and again, keeping the heart open, falling over that front leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of the leg, and feeling that openness in your heart. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill, hands down, step back, push right back up into downward dog. I am sweating. I am moving. I am doing yoga. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Now we're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. This time, though, we're going to keep those arms up, and we're going to sit back into a low chair. Feeling that pull on the backs of our calves. Maybe taking a second to glance down and see if we can see our toes over our knees. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just another millimeter or two. And then release it all into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank. Lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing, reinforcing, embracing that positivity. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am necessary. We're going to inhale, bring that right leg up, allow the knee to bend and the foot to fall over to the left. Looking out underneath the left armpit, seeing if we can get a glimpse of those dirty toes before swinging that foot forward and dropping down into a low lunge. Again, following that practice of your yoga, your way, knowing it's always okay to go into a kneeling pose, or if your knees are a little bit hurting today, dropping back into a hero works for you. It's your yoga, your way. We inhale, look up between the hands, and as we look up between those hands, we see a beautiful balloon in our favorite color. And onto that balloon, we're writing down all of the things that other people tell us about why we can't be the person we know we are. Writing all of that down, remembering every little bit, writing it down so that we can raise that balloon up, 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 and then separate the hands, releasing it, and letting go of all of those things that no longer serve us. Inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back and push yourself right back into downward dog. I am lighter. I am mobile. I am grateful. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Let the knee bend and that foot fall over to the right side, looking out to where you can see which side has dirtier toes. Before swinging that foot forward into a low lunge, maybe, like I said, coming back into a hero's pose like me because your knees are a little creaky today, bringing the shoulders back, reaching up overhead, and this time when you shift your gaze up, you see one of those mysterious little brown paper sky lanterns with that flickering little candle in the bottom. And this time, you're taking all of those feelings, all of those emotions, all of those words you wish you could communicate to someone who's not here, who's far away, who's passed over, for whatever reason you can't communicate with right now. You're putting that all in that little gondola with that little candle. And you're lifting that sky lantern up, up, up. And you're letting it go. And you're watching it drift up, up, up. And you're feeling a surety that those words, feelings, and emotions are going to get communicated right exactly to where they need to go. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down, stepping back, pushing right back up into downward dog. I am okay. I am stronger than I ever thought I would have to be. I am a true friend. Inhale, look forward. Hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to drop the hips, keep the hands pointing down, rising the shoulders up into a low chair before inhaling, reaching all the way up, and then pulling down all of that energy into the heart. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, little push up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. I am a survivor. I am stronger than people believe I am. I am going to be okay. Inhale, look forward, and step through into an easy seated position. Taking a second to allow your breathing to regulate a little bit, noticing as you breathe in and breathe out. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together, and we're going to take a minute to pay attention to this part of our body we so often overlook. Maybe running your thumbs up the bottom of your feet, maybe circling your ankles, maybe running your thumbs and your hands up and down your calves. Really paying attention to this part of your body that serves you day in and day out, carrying you, supporting you on your many journeys. Then we're going to take and run our thumbs up the bottom of our feet, opening our feet like a book. We're going to feel our spine straighten out, our chin set to neutral, feeling ourselves being pulled up, 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 till we have no choice but to allow ourselves to hinge at the hip and fold forward over our feet. Feeling our hips open up and release all of the emotions, all of the fears that we've held tight in those hips all day long. Inhale, feel yourself pulled a little bit further. Exhale, sink down just a little bit more, releasing even more of that deep-seated tension. Inhale, rise back up slowly. We're going to take and keep the feet on the mat. Bring the knees up into position for our first of 3 boat poses. It's okay to have your hands behind your thighs. It's okay to support yourself. Remember, your yoga, your way. We're going to straighten our back, engage our core, remembering to keep breathing, shifting the weight into our sit bones. We're going to lift one or maybe both feet, maybe letting ourselves go and just feeling that tremble, feeling that shake, embracing that tremble, embracing that shake. Right ankle over left, folding forward over your feet. Inhale, lift your seat off the mat. Exhale, come right back up into our second boat pose. Maybe this time we're just gently rowing with the current, going down the river, just feeling ourselves flowing along, embracing the feeling of companionship and friendship as we feel that tremble, feel that shake. Left ankle over right, deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down and come into our third and final boat pose. And maybe this time you're just floating in an inner tube, just gently flowing along the lazy river, and you notice that tremble, notice that shake, and realize that that is the mind and the body working together to overcome fear, pushing it out, letting it go. Right ankle over left, deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down. And then roll over those legs, landing your hands, extending back into a high plank. Again, knowing this is your yoga, your way. It's okay to bring your knees down, whatever works for you. Looking for that straight line of the back and the legs, allowing the heels to tip over to the right, reaching that left hand up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling the mind and the body working together before dropping back down into a plank, shifting the heels to the other side, reaching up and noticing that shake, that tremble, as you continue to chase that fear out of the body. Come back down into high plank, lowering down to your forearms, feeling the shoulders begin to separate. Bring the knees down, the hips, separating the arms, bringing one ear to the mat. Finally, bring the tops of the feet into contact with the mat. Beginning to notice The breath pushing against the support of the earth, lifting you slowly, and then letting you sink back down. And as that breathing begins to regulate, you begin to notice your heart beating. And you really take notice of that heartbeat, recognizing it for what it is, an expression of pure, unadulterated love for one single human being, you. Feeling that love pulsing up, up, up into the top of your head and flowing down, down, down to the tips of your toes. Inhale, bring the head up, bring the other ear to the mat. And as you bring that ear down, maybe you begin to notice that love that has filled you from head to toe begin to radiate out. Maybe at first, just embracing your household, continuing to radiate out and embracing your neighborhood, your community, and maybe, just maybe, joining with everybody else's heartbeats to extend that love right the way around the whole world. Inhale, bring the hands down to either side of the chest. Bring the head back up to neutral and push yourself up into tabletop, just long enough to bring the big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat. Bring the sit bones back towards the heels. Getting ready to go into child's pose. If it's in your practice, you're welcome to bring your forehead into contact with the mat, or you can do like I do and build yourself your own little personal pillar, your own conduit to the earth, stacking one fist on top of the other, noticing that hollowness on the insides of your fists in that column, and bringing your forehead into contact with the top of your column, feeling that pressure on your third eye, the think center, the pineal gland, knowing that that pressure is signaling your brain that all is well, you are safe, and you begin to slow down. Maybe you even notice the last little vestiges of those thoughts and ideas that no longer serve you, flowing down through that personal conduit of yours to be absorbed and dissipated into the ground, leaving you freer, lighter, and at ease. Next, we're going to take and bring, keeping the head down, we're going to bring the hands flat with the mat and begin to walk them back towards the body, keeping the head tucked as we slowly, slowly, slowly bring the spine up and then rock the shoulders back, bring the head up, blinking the eyes, allowing the light to flow in, and feeling those last vestiges of all of the crap we piled on ourselves just lift off. And we're going to lean over to one side, and however works for you, get those legs out in front of us, keeping the feet flat on the mat, knees up. Allow yourself to roll back onto the mat. Bring your arms out to the side, however works for you, in a T formation, maybe a cactus, whatever works. Walking the feet out to the edge of the mat. We're going to take and allow them to follow the breath as we exhale very slowly. We're going to allow the knees to fall slowly to the right. And then we're going to inhale as they slowly come back up to center. Exhale as they slowly, slowly, slowly fall to the left. Inhale them back up to center. Exhale, allow them to fall down, down, down to the right. Inhale them back up to center. Exhale, allow the knees to fall one last time to the left. Stretching out and releasing that little bit of tension still stored in those rubber bands that run up and down your spine. And as we inhale, we're going to slowly bring those legs back up. We're going to bring the knees towards our chest and then extend those legs up towards the ceiling and legs up the wall or waterfall. Ideally, your legs are vertical. But again, this is your yoga, your way. My yoga, my way is not vertical. I'm not at a 90 degrees, and that's okay, because this is my personal practice, just like you are engaged in your personal practice. We're going to bring the arms up and bring the arms up at approximately the same angle. We're going to allow the legs to slowly lower down to about 45 degrees. Bring the arms down to match that 45 degrees, engaging the core, and we're going to take in slowly with the countdown. We're going to lower our arms and our legs down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As our heels gently touch down, we allow our feet to separate slightly. Allow our feet to splay open to release the pressure on our hip joints. Allow our arms to fall naturally where they will on either side of our body. Palms up, palms down. Just letting your hands release anything you're holding on to. Knowing if your body's telling you to roll over and lay on your belly, then that's where you need to be. If your body's telling you to sit up, that's great. Do it. Just allow yourself to begin to sink into wherever you are, feeling yourself loosen and let go. As you feel all of the rest of the tension of the day just melt away. You feel your forehead smoothing out, your eyebrows drifting slowly apart, your eyes sinking heavily into their sockets. As your jaw relaxes, your teeth fall slightly apart, lips still gently touching, as your tongue falls heavily against the back of your teeth. You feel your shoulders slump. You feel your hands just resting heavily. Your biceps are going dull and numb. As you feel your hips sinking ever further into this melted state, you feel the bottom of your feet just slowly tingling as the last little bit of the energy that we built up is released, leaving us completely and totally melted and subsided. And as we're lying here, we notice a beautiful ball of light, again, in whatever color our mind says it needs to be, floating down towards our forehead, slowly, gently, pushing its way in, tickling, tingling, as it illuminates all of those dark corners of the brain, chasing out all of the shadows, all the cobwebs, all of the out of focus things, pushing it all out and highlighting all of the good things. As that light rolls down through your sinuses and into your jaw, you feel it illuminating your throat, letting your voice be relaxed and calm. As that light flows into your shoulders, you feel it shooting down your arms and into your fingers and ricocheting back up, making your arms tingle and vibrate with the release of all of the toxins that built up. As that light continues to roll down through your chest, gently embracing your heart in a warm, comforting hug. You feel that light flowing down through your pelvis and into your thighs, letting your thighs and your knees release the last little bit of the day's weight. And as that light continues to flow down towards your feet, you feel it begin to push out the bottom of your feet, taking with it all of that stuff, all of those shadows, all of those cobwebs, all of those things that no longer serve us, leaving you lighter, freer, and at ease. As you lie here in this meditative state, I ask you to hear these words, repeat them silently to yourself, and embrace these words. May I be safe, secure, and at ease. May my family be safe, secure, and at ease. May my community be safe, secure, and at ease. May the whole world find safety, security, and freedom from dis-ease. I ask you now to begin to invite conscious movement back into your body. First, wiggling your toes and your fingers, rotating your wrists and your ankles, before stretching your hands up, fingers spread wide towards the ceiling, wiggling your fingers, pulling your knees into your chest, and wrapping yourself into a well-deserved hug, rocking gently side to side, massaging that lower back, and just thanking yourself for all you've done to help release yourself from all of the burdens of the day. And then slowly rolling over onto your right side, falling into a fetal position, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, upper hand placed firmly on the ground, once again noticing that support that the earth is always there offering to you. Keeping the eyes closed to hold on to this wonderful feeling you gifted to yourself tonight. Using that upper hand to push yourself up into an easy seated position. I invite you to join me, bringing your hands together at heart center, forefingers together, thumb pressed gently into the sternum, allowing the head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. I ask you one more time to hear these words, say these words to yourself, and know they are as true about you as they are about me. I am whole. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am complete. That beautiful, magical light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same beautiful light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all for sharing practice with me today. It was great seeing you, Eric. Great seeing you, Erica. It's always great. Ray, I hope you're doing well up there in Oregon. And I know I'm missing other people because I don't have my glasses on. Edie, you are so awesome. Thank you all for your kind words. And Donna and Bonnie, thank you so much. And have a great evening. Thank you all very much. Good night.